Yo, shout out always to Bray Wyatt, man. Word up, 1,000. But it's another episode, Monarchs of Wrestling, with your man, Cool McCain. And I'm joined by the problem, not Marina Shafir, the playmaker. What up, playmaker?
Damn, I'm a problem now.
It
I'm just
felt
moving
like
up
the
the
right thing to
ranks,
say in
ain't
the
I?
moment. Hey, man, it felt like the right thing to say in the moment.
All right.
But
I'm
still,
just gonna keep
as the
moving
mad
up.
scientist would put it, yeah, as the mad scientist would put it, the hardest working man, the hardest working man in sports creation. And
If
you can
you
have
ask
that
no
title.
man,
Like,
if you ask no man, he probably tell you something else after what he witnessed on bearing down the gridiron this past Friday.
oh, Snowman, that's another conversation for another show for sure. But Playmaker, we got to dig into this Raw and this SmackDown, then a little AEW, and then we got to talk about a couple of pullouts. But you know how we do. The pullouts is going to happen when we talking about stuff anyway. So they'll be done by the end. But you know how I go. You know how we do. So Playmaker, we're going to have to slide on in here and start with Raw. So anything that you wanted to highlight or specifically discuss Raw last week?
So let's go from least important to most important, shall we?
Works for me.
Why do we have Nah, I get it. I get it. It's a 3-hour show, so you gotta fill up 3 hours. And plus it's comical when we do see him. But why? I'm not gonna go that route. Why do we have Akira Tozawa facing off with Shinsuke Nakamura? Like why? Like why?
I don't have an answer.
The fact that y'all even
I
announced
don't
it the
have an
week
answer.
before and we just looked at the screen like, really? What are we doing here? But it was nice
I
to
don't have an
see
answer,
that
sir.
Ortiz and Shinsuke went face to face after the match. Now that would be a match out that comes out of the woodworks that I would like to
Yeah, I
see.
did see that.
Hmm. Ortiz versus Shinsuke. I'll be down for a one-on-one match for one time. I'll be down for that. The King of Strong style going to get
I dig
somebody
it.
who's actually strong. Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's see how them strikes work. Okay. Okay. We bring the New Day back, and we brought them back, and they are jabbing to the Judgment Day. I mean, we're talking about one of the greatest tag teams of this generation.
With Big E.
Which at this
Without
point
Big
I
E, they've
believe,
shown you that they don't have a lot of faith in this team.
and I think it's to the point that we're not gonna see Big E in the ring no more.
I think we may see him at some point in the future, but I think we're talking about at least another 6 months or so before there's a possibility of us seeing Big E.
Because that man been
And you may
going
be
for
right.
a very long time.
Well, you got to remember the type of injury, it does heal, but then you got to get comfortable with taking bumps and stuff again and everything too. So that, I don't know how his psyche is about retaking bumps and all that. It may be taking some extra time and then getting back in shape, because with that type of injury, somebody as strong as Big E, you probably don't have the same muscle that you had previously. You got to take time for that too. It's a possibility, but I wouldn't argue you down by saying no, 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 he's coming back for sure. I wouldn't do that.
So I'm just Judgment Day, this wiping it for a new day. Let
It's
them win
sad,
by
man. It was sad.
let them win by disqualification or something, or let Judgment Day win by cheating, something like that.
Not just straight go in there and just treat him like for lack of a better way to describe it, Powerhouse Hobbs did Chris Jericho.
Like that's the
For
greatest
those
tag
of you
team
who
of this
are
generation,
familiar with AEW,
and you just like, yeah, y'all time's over. It's Judgment Days.
well, apparently in the rewritten books of annals of history, it's the the Usos are the greatest tag team of all time in this generation.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm the one. I'm with the ones. But ain't nobody
Yes,
win
you
more
are with the
tag team
ones, sir.
titles than it. But ain't nobody win more tag team titles than a New Day.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, and again, I'm not saying that I disagree. I'm just providing the other side of the coin, so to speak. The argument is that the Usos, with that length of the run and the fact that they overtook them as the longest reigning tag team champions, makes them
Matter of
the
fact, they
ones.
actually beat them to beat that record.
Hmm. But the way that they're doing them now, there's no big accomplishment, right? If you allow them to still be a strong force in the tag team division, then beating them to have the record makes the Usos look stronger. You're actually
Then
making the
why the
Usos look weaker. This is a tag team that everybody else can beat as well.
but why is the
So,
16-time champion world champion so important then? I know how WWE works, but
because
that's my big brother to WWE. If you want to talk about winning the championship, then why did y'all hold Whit Flip so high? Because he won 16 world championships.
well, they're right now they're holding up Roman Reigns and his lengthy run. But I'm not going to get into that digression down the path I could go. But I will say that wrestling every week is different from wrestling every few months. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Now
If
we
you
got
smell what I'm cooking,
the now that we got the what are we doing segment out the way. Now let's get this
pretty
on
much.
surprising. The Miz, the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
Well, we know he's not gonna win.
See, that's the thing, cause we kept
This is
saying, okay,
He's
we
less
got
likely to
him.
win the LA Knight.
See, this is what WWE does to us though. We got him going against good superstars. We talking us like, all right, he's finna lose now, cause now he got to deal with somebody who can actually go back and forth with him. He beat every last one of them. WWE depends on
Yeah,
where they do the match at and where the matches and stuff like that. WWE used to take those say, okay, nobody's think you're gonna win this match, so guess what? You're gonna win the match. WWE,
if the
W is known for
WWE
that.
does that, if the WWE does it, the WWE is a dumpster fire trash juice. If you have the Miz be the one to end Gunther as Intercontinental Champion, don't ever, 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 and I mean ever, tell me the Intercontinental Championship matters again. That's just my thoughts.
Because somebody got to end it. And we're starting to run out of
Give
names.
somebody a rub. Give somebody a rub though. Like wait for Braun Breaker or Mello or somebody to come up. Like give somebody a rub. Then let's not give it to somebody who like don't even matter. The Miz doesn't matter. Like I'm sorry, you can do what you want with him. The Miz does not matter. When he's there, you're like, oh, it's the Miz, yay. When he's not there, you're like, just focus on somebody else. You're not like, huh, why haven't we seen the Miz in 2 weeks? You don't care.
Especially the fact that they turned him face. Doesn't even give me more reason to bring that proposition up.
I don't care if he's a face, if he's a heel, if he's a tweener. The only time I care about the Miz is when Maurice is there. Okay? Let's be real.
The disrespect is real.
And that's just a fact of life. Yeah.
Wow. I'm just saying. I know how we know how WWE operates. This would be one of them times when they pull that work upon from under you.
All I'm gonna say is great. Times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If they do that.
Now we both know the Miz don't need the Intercontinental title because he already tells us he's the 2-time Grand Slam champion.
Right.
So we already know we don't need him winning. And he keeps talking about he's the reason why the Intercontinental champion is the way it's at. Which is actually true because I think around that time they was having Brock Lesnar holding the world title and the Miz was the only one showing up with the title.
Yeah, the Miz had it doing one of them. Bobby Lashley had it doing one of those times, and he had it back when Roman had both belts, and he was doing his. I'll show up for a month and not show up for 3 months, and then show up for 2 weeks, and then not show up for 6 months thing. When basically the Bloodline was carrying both shows without Roman Reigns. But then they took out the most important member, made him a good guy, didn't replace him. And we thought that was going to be something that people would care about. You remember back, and this is off the rails, but I gotta go here. You remember back when you could talk to somebody who didn't even really watch wrestling anymore, and they watched SmackDown to see what was going to happen with the Bloodline next? You remember that? Feels like a long time ago going because they don't give a monkey's you know what now. Great job in ruining something you had going real good because you can't help yourself, WWE. You had to screw it up. Kudos to you because you WWE'd it, and I knew you would at some point. You WWE everything.
Well, the fact that it took them 3 years to finally screw it, that's accomplishment within itself.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
I mean, we're talking 3 years.
See how long it takes to ruin Judgment Day.
We're talking 3 years, and we were waiting for the part when they actually ruined it way before then.
This is all very true. You have not spoken untruth in anything you've said, sir. I mean, I have agreed with some of the statements that you made, but that doesn't lessen the fact that they have accuracy and truthfulness behind them. So, a couple of things I wanted to talk about real quick, just to knock them out the way. Yes, sir. Creed Brothers beat DIY.
That was the next thing on the list.
And true faction to make both teams, yeah, great minds think alike. We know this. But in tune, keeping both teams looking well, what happened? Ludwig von Kaiser was the reason. So
Imperial still kicking
that's
around.
Good storytelling. Mm-hmm.
And the Creed Brothers beat
Creed
DIY.
Brothers
and they beat Afro
the Creed
Academy.
Brothers and Ivy Now signed their contracts too.
They got 2 big time wins out the
So
gate.
That was good. Yep. And then let's not forget about that Battle Royal. I'm pretty sure you were going there after that. I like Ivy Now and what they did with her.
Zuri, I am happy for you. Really am. You ain't stopping Rhea.
We both know
And I know that match is at Survivor Series, so I know who's winning that match.
Yep. And then
So
we
the
had
Intercontinental
the
Championship, I don't know when that's
impromptu.
coming.
It'll probably be Survivor Series. They can't hold out more than a week or two, or they'll do it on a show before Survivor Series because that's how they do. All right, so excuse me, y'all. The impromptu world title match between Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn.
And the reason why we got
I'm
him because
tired
Sami
of
Zayn, because Sami Zayn
storytelling
stole
with
the
the championships.
briefcase.
I'm tired of lazy storytelling by WWE. No one believes Sami Zayn was going to win that match. That's just I want to see challengers that have an opportunity that make you say, is this person going to win or not? Sami Zayn, no. We haven't built him nowhere near up enough as a singles wrestler
On
for
Raw.
him to, get that
He's
shot.
talking about specifically Raw. When they did it on SmackDown, it made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. And really on Raw, on SmackDown, even if we even go back into that, he didn't really build himself up. He just left the bloodline, kind of got an attitude with Roman Reigns, kind of did the behind the scene machinations with Jay and different stuff, and got the shot. Right? I mean, he didn't win a battle royal or fatal 4-way or anything. He demanded the shot, jumped on Roman and got the shot. So if you really want to be honest, he didn't earn that one, but that one made sense. This one he didn't earn, and it doesn't make sense. So I mean, it's just that's my take.
He stole the briefcase, and Seth Rollins rewarded him with a title opportunity.
How much sense does that make, really? If that makes sense to you, that's cool. That makes about as much sense to me as Zoe Stark beating Rhea Ripley.
I'll put it like this. Seth Rollins, now how I put this. He has associates, but he doesn't have friends. Let's put it like that.
Right.
So for Sami Zayn to know that Seth Rollins went through war with Drew McIntyre, and knowing that this will probably be a great chance for Damian Priest, as we talked about last show, for Damian Priest to come out and cash in, Sami Zayn stuck to his word. As long as I'm breathing, you ain't cashing that briefcase in.
Well, man, I mean, I hear what you're saying.
And Seth
But to
Rollins,
reward
like,
him
you
with
know what?
with a title shot. That's
And Seth Rollins, fighting champion. All faces got to be fighting champions. Since you helped me out, because I was in a vulnerable position, there's really only one way to congratulate you. You can get a title shot whenever you feel like it. Sami Zayn being the face, I appreciate it, but I didn't really do that to get a title shot. I'm just trying to keep my word. That's pretty much all it was.
again.
It's like I
Trash.
did something good for you.
AEW style lazy writing trash.
You can say that, and I won't fight back. But it's pretty much like I did something for you because I said I was gonna do something to somebody else. I kept my word, and you was like, you know what? I got to reward him because if he wouldn't have showed up, I was in deep water, and there'll probably be no way out for me at that moment in time.
And also the stupid
And I didn't
story
do
of
it. And I didn't do it to get a reward. I just do it because I didn't want that person on top.
and the stupid part about all this to me, stupidest. There are some stupid parts. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm not going because I'm gonna go in a rabbit hole if I go there. Don't even worry about it. No,
You don't
I
want
gotta
Roman.
say it. Damian Priest only got his briefcase back because he ran Adam Pearce.
I mean, of course, you have to give him the briefcase back his his.
Right, but
I don't need another Jay White this time with a
the way that
briefcase.
they're doing things. Get that, but you can't do that because Sammy's a good guy, so you can't do that. But why not have him jump him and take it back or something, right? It's just let's get the general manager involved. We'll threaten the general manager 7 times in the next 2 weeks, but for this time he's gonna help us. Like maybe I'm just in a cynical phase right now in my
You are, because you come on now. You know how this works. Adam Pearce is the good. Adam Pearce is the face general manager. Sammy, I know what you did. I know what you're trying to do. But the briefcase
right, but they're the
Damian Priest, so I'm gonna need that back.
But they're the bad guys. But I'm saying, rather than that, why not have them meet him and beat it out of them? That's what I'm saying. I understand you got to get it back, but you can find a better way to do it than, oh, he just handed it back. But again, it is what it is.
It's a face GM talking to a face superstar. What you expect? What you expect?
They could have caught him before he ever talked to him, beat him down, and took the briefcase back. That's all I'm saying. That would have been better for me than, hey, buddy, come in my office. Come on, man. You got to give me that back, pal. Like, we can't do this, buddy. That's garbage.
We seen this happen.
And then giving it to your biggest, and then giving it back to the biggest heel group in WWE right now. You mean y'all can't jump Sami Zayn and get his briefcase back? Come on, man. That's just lazy, man. It's just lazy.
It also shows that Judgment Day is running Raw.
Does it? Or does it show that they're cowards? They had to run to the general manager to get back something that they should have been able to take by force.
You can go either way, but hey, you the GM. Do your job. Give me my briefcase back, or there will be consequences. And that's what they do to a face GM. And the face GM does what they say, so there's no consequences that he has to deal with.
But they didn't even do that. Damian Priest came out with the briefcase beginning of the show. Like, they didn't even do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you did that, okay. They didn't even do that. They didn't do nothing.
Oh, they didn't show it. Let's just say we don't know if they did it or not. They didn't show it.
It didn't happen.
They didn't show it, so we don't know what happened.
Well, we do know that Damian Priest was like, Sammy, need to get the suitcase back, buddy, because we got to give him his suitcase because he won it. Yeah. That's what happened in my mind.
And the thing is, Damian Priest was still pissed off, so it wasn't like he got it back and he was happy about it.
Right. So, I mean, it's whatever, but I'm just not happy with, storytelling right now. I like the storytelling piece. The wrestling's cool. Everyone should be a good wrestler by now, even the scrubs, right? Storytelling, that's how you boost. That's how you set people's side. That's how you make things memorable. And that hasn't been done to a high level, in my opinion, recently.
Now, I would say this.
There's a couple of times WWE's done it, but overall, they're not.
Now, I would say this. We already got one War Games match set. And it wasn't even like a big announcement.
It didn't need to be, man. Honestly, it didn't need to be. We knew it was going to be Judgment Day. We knew Cody, Sammy, Jay was going to jump up and, run at him. We already knew that. So those were not surprising developments. You know what I'm saying? Just, looking at it from a realistic standpoint. But they did do it. They did actually pull the trigger and go ahead and make it happen. Because, sometimes they'll wait till 2 seconds before it starts to do it. So that is fair.
The reason why I say it that way, because there would be no Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at Survivor Series.
But we know there won't be Roman Reigns.
Because Seth Rollins is a part of the War Games.
Right.
Like we couldn't have.
But he just defended his belt, so he doesn't have to defend his again this month.
Exactly. But he wanted to go defend it. They did what they normally do. He wanted to go and defend it.
Yeah, Roman won't go to defend his at all anyway. He don't even care about that no more.
I was looking forward to brand supremacy type War Games.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but they give us the ability to come up with all these ideas, and then they go do what they want to do.
So the men on Raw get War Games, and I'll tell you about SmackDown.
And speaking of SmackDown, it's time for that move over. So two big things for me happened SmackDown. The first one was Carlito coming out and accusing Santos Escobar of leaving the nunchucks on, not the nunchucks, the brass knuckles on purpose. Santos getting mad and leaving. I'm gonna jump around here and finally just snapping and ended up beating up Rey Mysterio before the end of the night.
I gotta say though, now that
I actually thought WWE about time.
I gotta admit though, now that I thought about it, he did see the guy put the brass knuckles on in the ring.
Well, remember he picked him up and laid him back down and chased him.
Now that I thought about it, like yeah, like you literally left it there. Like that guy was not a threat to you whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yes.
I was tired of the good guy Santos Escobar, so I want him out on his own.
But can we praise? Can we praise Selena Vega? Because she sold the hell out of that segment. I'm with everybody else. She made that segment. She made that segment even more sad.
Can we also praise Kairi Sane?
Oh my God.
Who looks amazing. And looked amazing in the ring as well.
I'm sorry, but I'm digging this new Kairi Sane. This is a sadistic Kairi Sane that we're getting. So when we saw at Crown Jewel, we didn't know what kind of cyber games. Okay, so you helping Neo. Okay, that wizard doesn't tell us much because the look on Bailey's face at Crown Jewel was like, what is going on here? So we gotta wait to SmackDown to try to get a read on it. Yeah, this sadistic Kairi Sane. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. And Bailey's like okay, I'm cool right now, but I'm gonna keep one eye behind me though. This is where Bailey is at.
She should
at this moment in time.
She should. She definitely should.
I'm cool right now, but I'm gonna keep one eye behind me though. Especially
one eye open.
But that's how SmackDown. But we gonna get to how SmackDown ended a little later.
We could talk about that right now since we already on this, sir. We can bounce around. Talk about it now. We can go ahead and get it out there in these streets right now.
There's some changes coming to the women's division on SmackDown. There's some changes coming.
So to catch y'all up to speed real quick, if you didn't watch or if you forgot, because it's been a couple of days of football, basketball, and everything going on. Bailey came out. She wants answers. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Kyrie Zane come out. Dakota and Io tell Bailey how Kyrie's going to be helpful for them. Go ahead, take it from there.
So our main event, 6-woman tag match. We have Damage Control with Io Sky and Kyrie Sane teaming with Bailey. Because obviously Dakota Kai, we don't know, to be honest, we don't know when she's gonna be ready to wrestle again. Because this wasn't the first time she had a torn ACL. Just remember that. Against Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka. Now, at this moment in time, I'm like, I just want to see Asuka and Kyrie go at it, like everybody else do. This is what we want to see. We didn't pay for it because we didn't know, but this is what we want to see. WWE said, "Yeah, we gonna swerve y'all real quick, like, cause Asuka, you turn heel." Wait a minute. So you telling me Asuka is not gonna team with Bianca and Charlotte? So we just gonna put the miss invite yet again? Bianca Belair gets missed and turned on yet again. Bailey is looking around like, okay, what is this? Along with Io, because Io, Asuka and Io ain't never been seeing eye to eye since WWE.
Yep. But
And then all of
Kyrie,
a sudden, Asuka says, "Come on in, come get a hug, hug, hug." Io, Asuka, and Kyrie saying, hugging each other. WWE just opened Pandora's box. This is when we all looked at Bailey and was like, Bailey, you definitely better watch your back.
and Kyrie says she forgave Bailey earlier in the night as well.
I don't know. Mm-mm. I ain't believe that for a second.
I'm
I
just
just
saying
need
that's
it.
what she said. I agree. I'm
No,
just
she
saying
said
that's
it,
what
but
she
I
said.
didn't believe it. So I was like, I don't believe it, but I don't have no evidence at the moment. I don't have the evidence, okay? So I can't say Bailey don't trust it without evidence. Oh, I got my evidence. They turned Oscar heel. And the fact that Io
Kyrie also
said,
said Bailey is her leader.
no. See, I know what Kyrie said. It's what Io said. I had my own plan. Bailey didn't know about your plan?
Nope.
Bailey? I don't know when. I don't know how. And Dakota Kai, I'm gonna put you out there too. But them three Asian women, they about to take over. And it's not gonna be with you two. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I think Dakota Kai will be with him, but Bailey won't.
It's gonna be an international takeover in the women's division.
Well, Dakota Kai is Australian,
Yeah, I know. See, that's what the part I was getting. I'm like,
so she
there
can't
ain't
be
enough.
part of the international takeover.
I said there ain't enough Australian people for Dakota Kai to get her own group. I'm like, that'd have been awesome.
Well, being number
But
two in EO's group, you know what? I like what you said earlier, sir. What if they change their name to Pandora's Box? Of course, it won't be
WWE,
that, but that would be something different.
it'll be different. But I'm just saying, WWE open that box. They open that box. That box is open. We about to have a group. They ain't gonna speak no English.
That's why Dakota Kai gonna be there. She's the mouthpiece. You are right. Someone has to be the talker.
It's about to get real ugly in the SmackDown Women's division. I hope they ready for this. So
Well, we know 3 people from the team for
yeah, we know 4 now.
But we know Belair, Charlotte Flair is gonna be there. We saw Shotzi come out to help. So we know 3.
Person?
We know 4 on the other side. We know 3 of the women's side of the
And this so many rumors going around who the 4th person is gonna be. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care what y'all think. I just want to see it. I just want to see when Survivor Series happen. Who's going to be the 4th person?
So, you know, something I came up with in my own mind. It won't happen probably. I'll go ahead and say that first. But I was thinking, what if B-Fab is the 4th person? So she could show off her wares to Bobby Lashley because she wants in his group, apparently.
Oh, no.
So that would be a good way to introduce her. I just got to say apparently. I mean, she clearly does, but, you know, you got to say apparently until it's verbalized. You know how that goes. So maybe she wants in so she can show Bobby what she's got. But then that begs another question for you, sir. Bobby Lashley's group is not good guys. So maybe she gets in on the side with Damage Control. Because if they're going to have 5-woman team, we know who's not going to participate because she can, Dakota Kai.
Are they doing 5 or are they doing 4? Because that's the first
I mean, you never know. You never know. You never know what they're going to do with this stuff, man. Because the men are going to be 5, right?
Right now, it looks like 4 on 4.
Didn't they say there's going to be another member for each team, though? There's going to be announced?
I don't know. It probably was, and I missed it. Because I missed the entire announcement of Adam Pearce saying War Games. I'm like,
yeah, I thought I saw something online saying that they were going to add another member to each team, but maybe I was wrong. But I mean, we never know. It could be 4 or it could be 5. But I was just saying, you know, just to throw some you know, something a little different. Now the Santos Escobar angle, it was rushed. It felt a little weird just because it was clunky because it got rushed. I like it, but I think you could have, I guess the best word is stretched it out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Versus try to pound it in so quickly.
the only thing I can think of for them rushing it.
There's that.
The only thing I can think of for them rushing it is Carlito. That's the only thing I can think of. Either Carlito or Ray contract is coming up very soon. Even though Carlito just signed. See, we don't know the details of that contract though. That's the thing.
Right.
So maybe true. To us it felt like it's rushed, but maybe that was the plan to hold on.
Maybe. All right, so we're gonna shift over here. Some quick reviews of AEW. So they started off, which is different. They don't do this often. They started off Dynamite with the tag team match between MJF and Daniel Garcia. Good show. Good match. But again, the problem is they just set it up like the week before. And it wasn't like a tournament or a multi-man match. So But the match itself was really good. Which, you say that most of the time about AEW. The match was really good.
It's the same story every week with AEW.
Yes, it is.
It's like nothing's changed.
And then Darby Allin and Sting fought these two guys called the Outrunners, and it was terrible. They did do one thing different: the sit-down interview with Hikaru Shida and Timeless Tony Storm. That's a little different. But other than that, man, it is a lot of the same. And one bit of worthy information. We got a new team name tonight, Wednesday night. Are you ready for it, sir? It is nowhere near the level of Magic Meat, so I don't even want you to have those type of expectations. But we call themselves the Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. And then there was a little back and forth between the Bucks, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
Oh, I seen that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kenny Omega put some how can I put this? Kenny Omega spoke truth to power.
That's a good way to put it. Definitely a good way to put it.
Because if I recall, when AEW was about to start up, there was a debate of who is really the best tag team of all of wrestling. And we threw the Usos out there, we threw the New Day out there, and there was another team. Oh, the Young Bucks. Yeah, like the Young Bucks has fallen off the cliff.
Yes, they have.
Now with WWE, if they really want to, they can they can do some simple stuff with New Day, and New Day will be right back at the top just like that. They can throw Jimmy and Jay back together just like that, and they be right back at the top. The Young Bucks, however, oh man, there was at a point in time where people said their dream match was Young Bucks versus the Usos.
Never my dream match, by the way. Just to be clear.
I mean, the fall from grace from the Young Bucks. I mean,
Things happen. Things fall apart, like the roots say. But you got to remember too, the Young Bucks did a lot of their building up in New Japan, Ring of Honor. Then being executive VPs of AEW, early on it was easy to maneuver yourself into a prime position. But the Lucha Brothers, I always feel like the Lucha Brothers gave them a run for their money. Because here's the thing with the Lucha Brothers: Penta El Cerro Medio had won an individual world championship with Impact, but he had won the Impact World Championship. Can we talk about either of the Young Bucks ever having won something individually? Right?
yeah, I
No, it's
get
always a
that.
tag
Yeah.
team.
But my pushback to that is, the problem with that is it's Ray Phoenix. Somehow, some way, Ray Phoenix is gonna get injured.
This is or he's not injured right now. Right now he has visa issues, so that's the other problem. So one of those two things does normally happen. That's fair. So I feel like that's
And
where Death Triangle was so great because you had Pac. So those times when things happen with Ray Finish, you could just slid Pac right in there and keep moving. I thought that was what was great about that.
because trust me, I'll be with you. If Ray Finn is one going through all these issues,
Yeah, Ray be having a lot of issues. That's fair. That is fair. He got as many issues as Rey Mysterio and Dominic got. That's fair.
because Ray
All
Finn's one
right.
had these issues, I'm like, hey, he right.
Then we had the Guns. They fought the Bollywood Boys. We're not even going to talk anything about that. Not at all. Because there's nothing to say about that. All we know is the 310 to Yuma was used, and that's pretty much it.
Tony Khan, what is you doing with the Ring of Honor television title?
I'm glad you
First
brought
of
that up,
all,
sir.
first of all, why did Samoa Joe have to relinquish it in the first place?
He didn't have to. So storyline wise, Samoa Joe relinquished it so that he can focus his attention on being world AEW champion and not Ring of Honor Ring of Honor television champion.
Oh, so
So my
basically,
pushback to that is very simple. Go ahead.
it was, you know what? I done everything I needed to do with this title. I have beaten everybody that's been in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I have pushed this title to its limit. I will no longer be your Ring of Honor television champion. I'm moving on to bigger and better things.
Mm-hmm. So here's my pushback for that.
And everybody's pushed back for that because I know you're finna say because everybody felt the same sentiment.
If you weren't going to have Keith Lee win the match, then Keith Lee should not have been in that match. I don't have a problem with Samoa Joe relinquishing the belt. I have a problem with him not losing the belt to Keith Lee. Because Samoa Joe can take an L to Keith Lee 5 times on a Thursday and still not damage his reputation at all. Keith Lee needs to be rebuilt. So you're going to take the guy that needs to be rebuilt, have him lose, and then the guy that beat him says, you know what, I don't even want this belt. I holler. But what are you doing? No sense of storytelling.
And allow me to speak for the rest of the people. If you knew Samoa Joe was going to relinquish the belt, why you just didn't put it on Keith Lee?
Yeah, if that's what I'm saying. If Keith Lee was in this match and you were going to relinquish the belt, he should have beat him. If you weren't going to let Keith Lee be the champion, you should have put somebody else in that match. It didn't have to be Keith Lee. What normally happens in the business of wrestling when a guy's moving to a different division or after a different belt? He normally loses the other belt, right? Gunther's
Yes.
going to lose this intercontinental championship, and when he does, he's going to set his sights on Roman Reigns. He's going to.
Or they do something where whoever the champion is did something
Well, not Roman
very
Reigns, Seth
drastic.
Rollins, excuse me.
No, I'm saying they probably do something when the champion did something very drastically, and then it's like, okay, like you went too far. I have to strip you for the title, and then usually followed up with a suspension.
They could do
You
that.
could have did that Samoa Joe because we know Samoa Joe good from doing stuff that he ain't supposed to be doing. Because Samoa Joe don't give a crap
At all. Yeah, it was a poor angle to take. Piss poor angle to take. Another example of what I complain about with AEW. I love AEW, right? Because AEW is the alternative. AEW is we are making sure that WWE gives y'all the best that they got. And I love that. I do. What I don't love is continue burying guys that shouldn't be continually buried. That's what I don't love.
You know what? You know what y'all could have did, Tony Khan? You could have told Samoa Joe, guess what? You just going around of putting people to sleep. We're gonna strip you for the belt and then suspend you because like you getting out of control.
Too original. Too original. You over here being original and stuff, sir. That's too much storytelling for AEW right now.
I'm just saying. Something simple.
Simple AEW. Doesn't sound like two things
Matter of
that
fact,
goes
to be
together.
honest, I'm surprised WWE don't even do that no more. Let's have somebody go on a spree. See, that's when you know you dealing with somebody. You did it with Shawn Michaels. You did it with Randy. You even did it with Braun Strowman. You remember when Braun Strowman was wrecking shop over everybody?
I also remember what they ended up doing with that story, and that's the problem too. You got to end it. You got to end it correctly if you're going to go that route. They haven't done a good job of that either. They haven't done a good job of a lot of different things, right? Just being real. But to me, the only other piece of information from Dynamite that's even worth mentioning is the impending battle between Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy. A slight piece of storytelling being told, which doesn't happen too much. And we'll move on from there. I know Playmaker didn't have much to say to that one. To Collision. So Daniel Garcia and Andrade El Idolo had a good match. El Idolo won, of course. CJ Perry is now El Idolo's business manager. So we'll see how Miro handles that. So that's that. Nick Wayne fought Dalton Castle. Nick Wayne won. Of course, Luchasaurus and Cage provided distractions, but Nick Wayne won. I don't even want to mention this match really, but I will. Rush and Dralistico of La Faction on Ingobernable fought the two guys who call themselves the Workhorsemen. JD Drake and Anthony Henry. We know LFI won that match. Roger Strong beat up on Darius Martin.
Really?
And I'm saying it the way I'm saying it purposefully.
While wearing a neck brace, still acting like he have a broken
Well,
freaking neck.
No, no, it takes the neck brace off, wrestles the match, and then puts the neck brace back on.
Like I said, acting like he
showing that he's mentally off and it's just in his mind. Yep. So Willow Nightingale and Julia Hart had a good match. Powerhouse Hobbs squashed somebody.
Back to my earlier point. Why they are the? I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs won Royal for a while.
What it did? He punched somebody real quick, and then we got to a Rampage main event on Collision. This is your main event, guys, for AEW Collision. This is why I'm like, bro, it's football season. I'll be watching college football anyway and just catching the replay of Collision. This is why. The main event of Collision, Darby Allin, Sting, and Edge. I ain't doing all that radar superstar out of COVID bits. Darby Allin, Sting, and Edge versus Lance Archer and the Righteous. The Righteous are new clients, quote unquote, of Jake Roberts. They haven't done anything to belong anywhere near our main event. Sting hasn't done anything since he's returned to be anywhere near a main event. Darby Allin, Lance Archer, okay. Edge, Edge hasn't really done enough to be near a main event, in my opinion, since he's been with AEW either. So you have two men in this match who've done something to be in the main event. And of course, the faces won. So I bring this up just to simply say this. As storytelling, as following your plans, long-term payoffs, AEW, you have to do better. You seriously have to do better. I'd have rather seen Andrade El Idolo and CJ Perry versus Daniel Garcia than what you gave me for a main event. Just completely honest. So AEW, great matches up and down the card, no matter who's wrestling. Storytelling, still below subpar. Sad to say, completely true. Playmaker.
Nope. I'm gonna take a page from Stephen A. It's a layup, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's a layup, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna be nice tonight.
So, what is happening with the Bloodline? Playmaker. What is happening? What is going on?
Well, Solo handled his job, and he got rid of John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy did his part and helped Roman Reigns keep the title.
Mm-hmm.
But we should
And
find
Roman
out
Reigns did
next
his
week.
part and went back to be part timer.
Then we should see what's the next step next week. You know, the funny thing was, Cody took a jab at them. That just was funny.
He did.
Because I forgot to ask Jay what anywhere. I was like, wow. I love that. Even though they are Raw, we still counting over here, Roman. We still counting.
Absolutely.
I just don't know what any we're in right now.
And so the only thing of importance that seems to be quote unquote a storyline in AEW is the whole thing about the devil. Someone has the devil match.
Yeah,
And they have been, attacking a few people.
Yeah, they do. What's it called through glass? What's up with everybody in this real glass thing? Okay, can we get past this now?
Since CM Punk's going, they really taking shots, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah. People are saying it's Jake Perry, Jungle Boy. The formerly known as Jungle Boy, Jake Perry. It has the devil mask. Other people have been rumored as well. I hope I would like to see it be Dolph Ziggler. I think that would be a great way to introduce Dolph Ziggler to AEW. Because I'm sure he's coming. Look, maybe he'll team up with Edge and Sting and Darby Allin. Darby and the old folks bunch.
Why would you do that when you taking faces? Oh, it doesn't make sense to me.
Darby and the ODBs.
Like you threw one of the acclaim through the freaking window.
No, it should be. Dolph Ziggler needs to be a bad guy, like a really bad guy. I don't want to see him come out shaking his hips and doing all that. I was joking when I said put him with. Yeah, that's a complete joke, sir. Sting cannot work any longer.
He just threw he claimed through the freaking glass.
Sting cannot work any longer, sir. Darby Allin is about your size, or smaller, and Edge definitely his best days are behind him. Dolph Ziggler would instantly be levels better than anybody in that group. So I was just kidding. My last thoughts, my own personal last thoughts, simply this. We're getting into the big time season for WWE. I'm giving them a pass on some of the tomfoolery because I want to see where they go with it. AEW, I need stories. Appeal to the person in me that wants stories. I still want pro wrestling, but pro wrestling has stories. Pro wrestling is not just, let's have one overarching story and let's just throw a bunch of other people in matches. Make it make sense to us. Make it feel real to us. It doesn't even feel real on the AEW side anymore. It just feels like we're seeing all these great matches with no story. It's like watching. I'm not gonna do that either. No digression. No digression. No digression. Playmaker, do you have any final thoughts?
WWE, one, y'all need to thank me for that because if it weren't for me saying what I said, he wouldn't have give you the pass. Let's make sure my Survivor Series card makes sense. That's all I ask. Let's make sure my Survivor Series card makes sense. Cause you already threw a curveball at me, so we ain't doing all champions versus champions. So we ain't doing brand supremacy here. It looks like we're gonna stick with the storylines that we got going on personal brands, and we're gonna use Survivor Series to either continue them or end them. So make sure my card makes sense, okay? That's what I need. And then after that, I'm gonna say this again. And this is the last time I'm gonna say this, AEW. This is your opportunity to grow up. When is Survivor Series? Because after November 25th, WWE's gonna take it very, very easy going into the new year. So AEW, this is your time to grow up, to mature. That's all I got.
So for your man, the Playmaker, this is your guy, Cool McCain. You can find us here next week. If you've been watching, you know where to find us. If you haven't been watching, shame on you. We're gonna
You
do
better
it one
find
more
us.
time.
Y'all better find us next week because that's when we previewing Survivor Series.
Yes. You know where to find us on social media and all that because you should have been watching. But if you weren't, come back next week and we'll tell you where you can find us. That's a bet. Now, for next week, we definitely previewing Survivor Series. Y'all know we're talking AEW, WWE. A couple of other things might be going on that we might want to shine a little bit of light on. But we'll see. Developments are always developments. But with that being said, we're ending the episode for this week. Make sure you come back and hang out with your boys next week. Let's get it.